Last call for break.
Oh, there we go. It's on.
Kristen Crowley, weeknights on your news leader.
Tense moments as an abandoned backpack is left at the site of the Boston Marathon bombings.
We've got statistics on family stability right here in Winnebago County.
And looking for love in all the wrong places, we'll show you the best and worst cities to online date. 13 News Today continues right now. Good morning and welcome back to 13 News Today. We've got plenty to get to in our last half hour. We're going to start with the Kansas City shooter making his first appearance in court. We've got more on his status and the charges he's facing.
Definitely. And sort of a crazy story here. We've got a burglary caught on camera, but not just any camera, a baby cam in the nursery. We're going to show you a family who was frightened on that camera.
Yeah, and if you missed yesterday's lunar eclipse, a lot of us did. It was a little bit cloudy. If you just weren't outside at the right time, we'll show you when you can see it again, because that was not the only time. We have a couple more times coming up in the next year or so. So we'll get to all that, much more, and we're starting with weather, as we typically do.
Here's a look at your top stories this morning. On the first anniversary of the Boston Marathon bombing, there were tense moments after unattended backpacks were spotted near the finish line. The Boston bomb squad detonated these suspicious packages last night. The official all clear has been given, and we now know one of the bags belonged to a media outlet that left it behind. More than half of Winnebago County's children are born into families relying on government assistance.
That's just one statistic we checked out relating to household stability and its impact on children. 13 News reporter Kelsey Passolt has the facts and the figures.
In Rockford, Kelsey Passolt, 13 News.
For more information on area programs offered to single parents and low-income families, head to our website, WREX.com. We told you about a congressional report recommending more regulation of the e-cigarette industry.
Remember, you're in two. Stand by.
Here's a look at your top headlines. The former Ku Klux Klan leader accused of shooting 3 people to death at Jewish centers in Kansas City made his first court appearance. Cross didn't say much, only confirming his identity and telling the judge he didn't have money for an attorney.
It's week 2 of the high school football season, and we here at WREX are going to have you covered all day long from the Prep Gridiron. During the regular season, we'll be live at a local high school who'll be hosting a game. Well, today we toss it out to our very own Aaron Wright, who's live on the field at Belvedere North High School as they get set to take on the Auburn Knights. Hey, Aaron.
Hey, Hannah, we're here this morning and we're talking about homecoming. They got great spirit here, right? Yeah! All right. But they also have a great choir, and they've got a sample for us here this morning. Let's hear it, guys. Everyone else in the room can see it. Everyone else but you. Baby, you light up my world like nobody else. The way that you lift your head against me. We're here at Belvedere North High School all morning, so if you're up, you're eating your Wheaties, come down, cheer on your squad. Hannah, I'm going to throw it back to you.
Thanks so much, Aaron.
Good morning, meteorologist Greg Bobus here. I'm live at the Menards across the street from Cherryvale Mall, where they're about ready to open up doors in about 45 minutes or so from now. It is a cold one, my first Black Friday, and I picked, well, maybe not the best one to be out here in terms of temperature. A lot of stores already opened last night and had a bunch of doorbuster sales, but Menards kept tradition going when it comes to Black Friday.
Aaron Wright is alive at the Rockford Memorial Hospital toy drive this morning to help spread that cheer. Hey, Aaron, how's it going out there?
Hey, Hannah, doing well. I want to introduce you to a very special young man, Jack O'Neill. He's in the 5th grade. Jack, how are you doing this morning?
Good.
Good. Glad to have you here. He has a charity that raises funds to buy toys for children just like him who are in or are currently in the pediatric unit. Jack, how important is it, to have these toys in the pediatric unit?
Oh, it's very important because, one, it takes your mind off of pain or other things that are going on. It helps you get through it a lot faster, and it makes you feel like someone cares for you.
All right, Jack, thank you so much.
We have our own meteorologist, Joe Astolfi, live on the roads right now. Joe, can you tell us what you're seeing as you drive on through the roads?
Hey there, Greg. Yeah, most of the main roads are pretty good. I'm on East State Street right now, just passing the entrance to Rockford College, heading east towards all the stores out towards the east side of Rockford.
Boston police say one of 2 suspects in a shooting at MIT is dead this morning after an overnight shootout. That is according to the Associated Press. We've been following this story all morning. Both NBC News and the Associated Press report one suspect, he was wearing a white hat, also is linked to the Boston Marathon bombings. We're now going to go to a live NBC report. We are back. Thanks, Greg. We start off this morning with some continuing coverage from a house explosion in Beloit that we've been following since last night. We now go live to 13 News anchor Aaron Wright, who's at the scene with more. Hey, Aaron.
Good morning, Hannah. It's still raining here as the neighborhood that had a rough night last night. This neighborhood was swamped with police and fire officials. They're all gone now as the investigation into what caused this explosion continues.
Chew on this. After the Target security breach, more credit card scams have surfaced. Now Neiman Marcus has been hacked, making a lot of shoppers question whether it's worth using plastic or cash. We bring in NTA's Ken DeCoster to get in on the conversation.
I'm old school. I try to pay in cash wherever I go. I try to use plastic as little as possible to avoid just the very thing that's going on with Target at Neiman Marcus.
Yeah, Ken, I'm definitely there with you. I try to pay in cash when I can, which isn't always easy. But when I do have to use plastic, I'll tend to use the actual credit card before the debit card, because then at least they don't have access to your bank account.
I have the problem where I don't like carrying cash just because if I have cash on hand,
spend it.
You'll spend
exactly,
it,
you're
yeah.
more tempted to spend it.
It's
It's like,
true.
oh, you know, whatever, I got this. It does make you worry because Target is giving your information, and kind of if they're losing your information, why would you want to continue shopping there? Time for today's talk. The Seattle Seahawks and Denver Broncos are trying to increase the home field advantage for their NFL Conference Championship Sunday. The teams are limiting ticket sales to residents with certain billing addresses. Both teams have a list of acceptable regions listed on their websites. Fans can still get tickets through resellers, but mostly at inflated prices.
Yeah, you hear about this a lot. This actually happens to the Blackhawks whenever they go to Nashville, where if you have a zip code that's anywhere not near Nashville, because they get so many fans because it's so close that they sometimes have more fans than the Nashville fans, that they do that with billing as well.
My sister got the chance to go see the Steelers in the Super Bowl when they were when they played in Florida. Was that 3 years ago?
It was more.
I don't know, but she met Snoop Dogg, so it was, you know,
You'll get to meet Snoop Dogg. It'll be worth it.
It was an
One of those
experience
things
of a
that if you start
lifetime.
fighting about it at the beginning of a marriage, it's going to always be an issue. So lock that away and then worry about getting married. Because if the person's going to be the person you marry, they're going to be there a year, 2, 3, or 4 years from now anyway. So why not wait until things are locked down?
You know, you learned in school, your eyes are used to your writing. So, you know, read it out loud. Give it to somebody else to look at. Come back to it and look at it again, because you're going to be adjusted and see things that aren't there, or see things that you think are there and they're not. And it just leads to, you know, ending up in somebody's hands, and it looks, you know, makes you look crazy.